Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the weekly comic wrap up, episode 86, the show where we go through the FOC picks of the week. We visit some sales on the aftermarket. We by bringing you the market report, of course, and then the hot topics. And we tend to get spicy every now and then on the hot topics. So we'll see tonight. We'll see tonight. But so many cool things happened this weekend. So I hope everybody had an amazing weekend. There was WonderCon stuff. I saw a lot of posts from people. Paul in the 619 was seeing a lot of people posting. Brian McClay. It was nice to see a lot of the community. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people on the YouTube scene, the Instagram scene getting together. So that was really nice. But there were exclusives too, man. And you know how that goes, right? Some aftermarket sales. So we'll look at those tonight. Diamond apparently selling. So we'll look at that. There was the ever long announcement of the cast for Avengers Doomsday. So we'll get into that too. Lots of fun stuff. But I'm not going to say everything we're going to talk about. I have someone who's waiting backstage. So let's bring him in. You've seen him on the show several times, guys. Travis, a.k.a. Trek Wars Comics. What's going on, bro?
Hey, what's up?
Not much, man. You heard all the stuff I was just talking about. It was a busy week, dude.
Right. Yeah, there's a lot going on. That's crazy. Love it.
Yeah. I saw the chat saying a few things here. So shout out to the chat because I love you guys for being here live every single week. I see you all love deeds. Lots of awesome people in the chat, but I saw them calling me out for being 5 minutes late. 5 minutes late. It couldn't have been that bad. You guys sat through what? It was like 9.5 hours of chairs, literally, right? So
yeah. We're a little faster than Disney, okay? A little faster.
It was wild, dude. Absolutely wild. But anyways, you had a busy day too today. You were recording because you have a show episode that is going to be dropping, I believe, Tuesday.
Yeah, if I'm worth a dang, it should be Tuesday. But no, we recorded our episode 14 talking about the absolute universe. We're talking about the new releases this week. So Wonder Woman 6 and the big one everybody's talking about, Martian Manhunter #1. It was good stuff. So a lot of fun, a lot of cool stuff happening.
Dude, that was trippy stuff.
Yeah, it was. And Wonder Woman 6 looked so good. I love the guest art spot. It's great. It was just a great week. So yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, man, good times. So you said that's going to be dropping Tuesday, of course, over on your channel. Guys, for the channel that I'm referring to, you want to check it out. It's in the description of this video. So please go show some love. And speaking love, I got to shout out Cliff on Comics. Cliff had me over on his show on Friday. So I want to give him some love. Thank you so much for having me on. It was fun, dude. It was complete pulling back. Like we went off the rails completely. As expected, guys. It's Cliff. We've got that chemistry where we just go back and forth, roasting each other, and him hitting on me, and it's okay. I love him. He's a great dude. But yeah, man, go check out Cliff on Comics as well, guys. He was doing some cool things. But yeah, dude, did you see some of the WonderCon stuff?
I did a little bit of it. I haven't been as in it as I normally am, but I did see a little bit of it, and it looked pretty cool, pretty fun for sure, and a lot of cool stuff coming out of there.
Yeah, man, I saw even Todd McFarlane himself was there, dude. He did a panel, I believe, with Jim Lee, which is pretty cool.
That's some serious firepower on a panel, that's for sure.
That's a massive 1-2 punch, man. Could you imagine being in attendance for that? Like,
I would definitely be marking that one off the old bucket list.
Yeah, there's no greater tag team. And speaking tag team, you just told me that you are going to be hosting WrestleMania for the first time at your house, which is amazing. You said you're going to be getting together with your brother. You're back in fully, dude.
I'm all the way in. There's no turning back at this point.
I love
WrestleMania party's happening, so yeah, it's gonna be a whole thing.
I feel bad. I kind of feel like a bad influence on this because like you and I connected through, via Covrprice, right? Like that's really where it came from. For those of you who don't know, Travis actually does the write-ups for the Shakers on Thursday, which I host with the crew. But yeah, man, you do your thing with that. We connected, started talking wrestling, started talking comics, started talking everything. And you had a gap where you just stayed away from wrestling for quite some time.
I missed all of John Cena.
No,
all of it.
You literally never saw him.
No, yeah. I mean, I knew who he was, and I knew about the greatness that is John Cena. I knew the finishing moves,
Yeah.
but that's all I got. Neiman, it's the guest room, man. It stays made up. There's nothing I can. It's not that much work.
Yeah. Yeah.
but yeah, no, I missed basically pretty much all of it. I think I kind of got out like right as Lesnar was coming in or kind of getting to his prime. So it was a long gap.
You missed some good things. As long as you didn't miss the Attitude Era, we're good. So you're forgiven.
Yep, grew up in it, couldn't miss it. So yeah, I'm all the way back though. So thanks for that, Linda.
Yeah, it's funny because I was telling my family, it's kind of a good thing because it's Easter weekend and at the same time WrestleMania. Normally we get together anyway, so it works so well. Normally we just we have tons of pizza, nachos, wings, you name it, all the horrific food that you feel the day after. But now we'll have it with the Easter food. You know what I mean? Like the pastas, the meats, all of that stuff. So it works well together. Works well together.
For sure. I don't know what we're doing yet, but I imagine if my brother's involved, it's going to be big. So he always goes over the top with the food. So
yeah, man. But anyways, all right, guys. Enough about food, enough about wrestling. Let's get into the show. We're going to kick it off with the FOC selections of the week by Leftero. So Travis, are you ready?
Let's get it.
Let's go. All right, guys, the FOC selections of the week for March 31st. Now, of course, as I said at the beginning, these picks are made by Lefteros. If you're not already, go follow Lefteros over on Instagram at Lefteros. It's very simple. And don't forget to go visit Covrprice's website where you can get the full article. Now, if you live in the United States and you want to order any of these books, go visit comicnation.us. You get 15% off of the cover price, but you get an additional 5% off by using discount code Black Crown. And if you are in Canada, like myself, well, go visit comiclegion.ca. They give you 20% off of the cover price for FOC every single week. But if it's your first order and it's your first time hearing about them, go use discount code and list to get an additional 5% off of your first order. So let's dive into it. The first book on the list is G.I. Joe, A Real American Hero, Roadblock #1. Here we have the cover A, all new, silent, no dialogue, one-shot featuring Roadblock, probably the only character who cannot be silent if his life depended on it. But Travis, you remember we were talking about these 1-in-25 ratios, and here we are with the George Forns, and it is the letter O with Roadblock. I like this.
So wait, we got one more left. Is that right? We just got one left?
So that's what I'm hoping, because if they're going to go G.I. Joe, a real American hero,
we're going to be at this for a minute.
We're doomed, bro. We're doomed. That's brutal. But no, they're doing the G.I. Joe. So I believe we have one more after this. I keep saying this every week that it's passing FOC. I think altogether it's going to look amazing.
Yeah, it looks awesome. I love these. I think it was here when we did the first Silent Missions issue, and was talking about how cool that is, and I love that they're doing these kind of these connector variants. They just look really cool, man. I dig them. They're awesome.
Yeah, dude, it looks great. Like you just said, piecing them all together, it's gonna look amazing. So I'm excited for this. These look great.
I'm going to find a G.I. Joe section of the wall here, maybe right there.
Yeah, I just saw that Comic Ozzy in the chat says he doesn't have a blue wrench. I just took care of that. Sorry if I was a little distracted, but I got to take care of my brother. So there you go.
Asking ye shall receive.
Yeah, Ozzy's now a moderator. Be careful, guys. Be careful. But all right, moving on, we have Medieval Spawn #1. This is the cover B. Now, Medieval Spawn, cover depiction by Todd McFarlane and Francesco Mattina. Can't go wrong with that team up, of course. And it is a stunning cover, dude. I like this one.
Yeah, this is neat. So like a combination of McFarlane and Mattina. That's pretty sweet. Yeah, I'm excited about that. I think this is an awesome cover. This is great. Even you can't go wrong with this.
Yeah, I'm not. Again, if I got to pick between the black and white sketch ones, and then I got the actual cover A, which is full color. Love that. There's also a blank sketch for this one as well, guys. if you're into that, of course, with the sketches, great things to get, sketches done. If you're going to cons, it's con season has kicked off, guys. Con season has kicked off. So
Yep.
you can get some cool things done. But the medieval spawn blank is actually black. But I think this one looks great in the black and white sketch. So yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, dude, $3.99. It ain't so bad.
No,
Ain't so
not
bad.
at all. Not
Yeah.
at all. This is a get.
Yep.
Grab it.
Beauty. But anyways, keep it running with Kid Juggernaut #1. First appearance of Malfegor, Jung Woo Jin, and Heiran Jin. There you go. I think I did it. Pretty interesting. Of course, we've gotten Kid Juggernaut already within comics, but you know, they do digital comics as well over on Marvel. And we've seen some of these things. Now, some characters here that are going to be appearing in this comic have been seen digitally, but now in print, this is going to be their first time.
Yeah, I actually did. This one was kind of a surprise to me. I didn't hear anything about this or see it coming or anything. This is pretty cool. I love this cover. I love the art style. So truly, I love it. It's awesome. Looks great.
Yeah. So pronunciation. Are we going to try this together? Is it Wucholi?
That's what I'm going with.
I think that was it. I think we did it okay. But yeah, no, I agree with you. I agree with you. The artwork is very nice for the cover, so I like
really
it.
striking. Yeah, it's cool. Again, like I actually had no idea about this series until this post dropped earlier or yesterday or earlier today, and I love this cover though. It's really awesome.
Yeah, super cool. But we'll move on from this one because Wolverine and Kitty Pryde #1. Here's the main cover. Now, apparently, we're going to have multiple characters that are going to be making their first appearances within this issue. Hold on. I know we're looking at this main cover and you're like, oh, okay, it's pretty cool, right? Alan Davis did a good job. It's nice. But for the gamers like myself and Travis and some others, Wolverine and Kitty Pryde keeps the train rolling with the Bendis variants, the Marvel vs. Capcom variants, and the only thing that's disappointing is that I remember, I think it was Wolverine issue 6. We already got a Wolverine one, so
yeah,
this is a different one. The other one's a little more up close, right?
Yeah, for sure. These are cool. I dig it. It's hard. It's hard as someone, like you said, it's the gamer thing. You know what I mean? It's like it's hard to say no to it. And I really like these. I just like the whole aesthetic of these covers. They're fantastic.
Yeah, I'm going to share my screen with you guys because I want you to see this because the Granoff cover is just so good. Check this out. I love this one. Yeah, this is, and it's available at cover price, guys. So like this is a must grab in my opinion. This is a cover grab from myself, and of course there's this one right here, the video game one. Can't get enough. Yeah, I agree with Derek. Can't get enough Wolverine. It's never enough. So yeah, I'm picking this one up. I don't know what did you like that Granoff?
Yeah, it was fantastic. Yeah, absolutely. I like the brown and yellow, brown, orange, brown. That I like that idea. Maybe, but yeah, this is cool. This is awesome.
Agreed. But let's keep it rolling with Godzilla versus X-Men #1. That's right. Since we're talking mutants, might as well get into this because Godzilla versus X-Men, we've seen Godzilla versus Hulk, Godzilla versus Spider-Man. Godzilla is just everywhere, and it is amazing because these promo fight style covers that have come out have been banger after banger. I think these all lined up one after the other is going to look amazing.
Yeah, and I've missed them all so far. I've got to get a hold of them. I'm horrendously behind, and it's starting to eat at me a little bit. But I we actually talked about this on our episode today because my counterpart actually got he got the one that released this past week, and I was like, wow, that's awesome. I did not get it, so now I have to track it down and then play catch up. So, but no, these are great. I love the old school boxing poster style things. It's just awesome. My favorite one that I've seen so far is the Fantastic Four, the Thing and Godzilla cover. Is just
dude, the Thing one's great. Yeah. But
so
they're all good. They're all good.
Yeah, they're all good. They are all fantastic. Yeah, they're super good.
And not one of them is believable that they're going to defeat Godzilla, except for, I think, maybe Hulk, I want to say. sort of.
Yeah, Hulk might have a shot.
Yeah, well, I don't know, man. It's pretty interesting, but yeah, pick it up. I like I said, I think these all lined up one after the other are pretty cool. This is a total cover grab for myself. Now let's get into the absolute Martian Manhunter issue number 2, because you were just talking about number 1. Here we're getting the first appearance of Absolute White Martian, and boy, do we get another trippy cover here with Absolute Martian Manhunter.
Javier Rodriguez, just I love it. I love it. It's so good. Good news, like in the last day or so, that they have decided to extend this run another 6 issues. So it's instead of a 6 issue series, we're going to get 12.
12, yeah.
Yep. So that's exciting. And yeah, looking forward to reading this and getting more of this. The first issue was just so cool. There were some neat little Easter eggs in that first issue, that one in particular that we talked about today. And yeah, just Dennis Camp is just in his bag with this one. I like this. This is good stuff.
Yeah, dude. Lefteros is saying that he already had the chance to read this issue and that
Nice.
it was great.
That's awesome.
So yeah, dude. I remember when the issue dropped just within the week, I was in Ottawa for work and I swung by a shop. Shout out to them. It was the comic shop. And when I walked in, I was, first thing everybody was talking about was this. It was Absolute Martian Manhunter. And one of the guys working there was like, "Hey man, are you a fan of DC?" I'm like, "I'm a fan of anything, pretty much." I'm like, what do you got?" And he looks at me, he's like, "Have you seen Absolute Martian Manhunter?" I'm like, "Seen." I'm like, "Dude, I'm still trying to recover." Like, he's like, "Yeah, man." He's like, "It was so trippy. It was so good." So it was cool to see a lot of hype around that come release
Yeah.
on Wednesday. So that was really cool.
Yeah, big sales numbers before it dropped, and then big great response since it's dropped. It's awesome. I love it. I think the point I made was, it feels like maybe at times some of the bigger publishers, the big two, will sort of kind of refrain from really going there and going out there and taking that risk on the chance that it maybe won't sell or won't be received well. But I think the alternate universe is like the Ultimate Universe, the Absolute Universe, kind of set up perfectly to do that a little bit. If you can go out there and take the risk and try to do something a little off the wall and a little different, and it works if you do it right. And this at least after the first issue, they're definitely doing it right. So it's awesome.
Yeah, man, it was fun. It was a fun read. I'm gonna wait to hear what Easter egg you were referring to, because I think I may have missed that. So yeah,
it's really tiny. It's really tiny, but I dug into it and it was a lot of fun because nothing's there by accident, So I mean, the writers and the artists are doing they're putting every little detail into it, so it's not there for no reason. So like when I saw it, I was like, all right, well, I don't know what that is, so I'm gonna look into it, and it is so cool. So yeah, it's really neat.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. But anyway, so Absolute Martian Manhunter number 2 is over on FOC right now. So if you missed out on issue 1, I encourage everybody, go back and check it out. Try to find it at your shops. But up next, we got Green Lantern issue 22. Here's a cover C of Star Sapphire. Cover depiction by Miguel Mercado. And this is a gorgeous cover, complete cover grab. Nothing more.
I love Green Lantern. Green Lantern is like one of my favorite things. So this was when I saw this, I was kind of like, oh my god, I've got to have this. I don't care. I like this is perfection. Shout out to Miguel Mercado. This is awesome.
Did you really? Oh my god!
I did. I actually. Oh my god!
I love it. I love it. Yeah, no, it's a gorgeous cover, stunning, dude. I again, DC always manages to reel me in with covers, but hang tight because there's some other cool covers. Because here's a prime example: Harley Quinn issue 50. This is a cover B. Harley Quinn cover depiction by David Nakayama. Nakayama doing Nakayama things, I guess we could say, because Nakayama just does amazing covers. I love this one.
They won't sell any of these.
Schoolgirl leg. What do you mean?
They won't sell it. I'm obviously being sarcastic.
What do you mean?
No, yeah, there's no, they won't sell a single one of these. No way, no chance. Nakayama drawing Harley in a schoolgirl outfit. Yeah, there's no way this sells.
I was getting ready to drop gloves with you, bro. I was like, What?
No, this is gonna be one of those things. This everybody's buying this thing. I know it for sure. This was like an instant. Oh yeah, this is gonna definitely work. Let's do this.
Yeah, no, it's gonna look good, man. You got the
Yeah, it's
yellow in her
good
hair.
stuff.
You're already picturing the yellow label on your CGC case. No, I'm just kidding, guys. But yeah, no, it's really nice, sick cover. But this is where you can feel Travis getting a little excited. This is the section that may have sent him overboard because the Absolute Universe is sending us with so many options into later printings. And dude, not one, not two, but three insane covers in front of us right here.
Dan Mora. This is, I believe, Dan Mora. This is um, unreal. This is unreal. I sent this to Phil, my counterpart, and on my show, and his only response was, "Holy shit!" Like that was the immediate response. Um, this is so good. Just the getting Dan Moore to do some absolute covers is just a genius move because Dan Moore kills it. He
Yeah,
really kills it. So
absolutely,
these are
dude.
great.
All three covers that we're showing right now are for the Absolute Universe. As you said, it's Dan Mora, but you have Absolute Batman #1 that is going to a sixth printing. So already now that is hitting a sixth printing. Very impressive. But there's other title issues as well that are going to later printings. Like there's issue 3.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a nice Del Auto available
Yep.
on that one. You have Absolute Superman #1 going to a fourth printing, and then Absolute Wonder Woman #1 going to a fifth printing, which is wild. Now, some of these covers that you're seeing by Dan Mora, each single one of them, you have the option to choose it as a just a trade, regular cover, or you have the foil as well. So that's pretty cool.
Right. Yeah, it's this is great. I when I saw that they were running later printings, you always wonder if they're going to get to the point where they're just going to change coloring on the letters and stuff like that. But I love that they're continuing to, even if they do the color changes on the letters and stuff on the original artwork or the original cover A's, I do like that they're continuing to try and put out some fresh variants when they're going to these later printings because these are great. I think there was one that was on the top 10 at Covrprice last week, and it was a second printing 1 in 25 for the fourth issue of Absolute Batman. So really obscure, but it blew up, or maybe it was on the Shaker. I can't remember where it was, but it blew up, and it was an awesome book. So I like that they're continuing to give fresh covers as we're going to these later printings.
Yeah, for sure, man. And I just want to show you guys the sixth printing also has the regular cover A. You were talking about changing of colors and stuff like that. Well, here you have it on the title. So
There it
um,
is.
yeah, that first printing here, you have it as an option now for the sixth printing as well. You got the Batman symbol white, rather than the regular symbol we're all used to, or are we even used to this new symbol?
Chunk
I
Bat.
I think we are, right?
Yeah.
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 I ain't complaining. That's for
Yeah.
sure. I'm enjoying it. It's a great read. So you have all these options for the Absolute Universe. Now, keeping that train rolling, we were talking Green Lantern 22 before. Of course, the 1 in 25 gives us a Mark Spears cover. And I love the fact that they have a monster truck on this one, like Green Lantern just going straight after the guy with a
I love
monster truck on this guy running away with a bag of money. This is so funny.
I love the old school robber like outfit, the,
Yeah.
with the little mask on and the bag of money and everything. I actually Mark Spears has done a couple of these Green Lantern variants, and
Yeah.
I've picked them all up because I don't know, man. His style, his color work just kind of suits Green Lantern because of the bright greens and kind of the glowiness of some of his artwork. It just suits Green Lantern. So this is cool. Definitely gonna grab this if I can get it, just at a decent price. So I'm just gonna pick it up because I've got the other one, so why not grab this one?
Yeah, no, dude, it's so good. But one thing I do want to say is I know everybody loves Mark Spears, and there's nothing wrong with that. But there's again another great cover available on FOC, and for myself, it's the Perillo. I love this cover so much, dude.
I didn't see
Um,
this one.
yeah, this is so good, so
That's
good,
that's amazing. That's
right?
so good. Perio is so good. Just there's so We are so spoiled as comic fans right now with just the absolute, almost never-ending supply of great artists and cover artists right now. I mean, just insane. Because it used to be like, you just grab one or two or three, like, like these are my three artists, four artists that I'm really into. But now it's just like you can forget some of the great cover artists that are out there right now. Like, oh
Yeah.
my god, I totally forgot about that person. Like, it's awesome. It's great.
It's funny because after my show with Love for Comics, which shout out to him, dude, it's such
Yeah,
a
man.
great guy to hang out with, and like I am already excited to get him back on as soon as possible. But we were talking about some cover artists, and like I, you can go on forever nowadays, right? There's so many good artists.
Yeah, it's nuts. I mean, and I feel like I'm finding out about a new one every day. Like every day I'm seeing like, oh, I haven't heard of that person before. Holy crap! Look at
Yeah,
this, is amazing. Now I've got to dig into what they've done. Where did they come from?
yeah,
And
exactly.
it's crazy. It's just we are so spoiled from the creative side of comic books right now. It's awesome.
Well said, brother. Preach on a Sunday. But anyways, um, second printings, we have One World Under Doom #2 that's giving us a 1 in 25 incentive where Marvel does Marvel things. Jerome Opena, nice cover, but Marvel, why?
They
Why?
do this. They do this. Opena, but shout out to Opena. Jerome Opena is he's one of those I don't think gets talked about enough. He's good. He's good, good, good. This is a great cover, but yeah, Marvel doing Marvel things per usual.
Yeah, hey, whatever. But I will say the Capuccio is a nice cover. Definitely worthy of that second printing. But yeah, I hate when they do this with the incentives. It's just it's disappointing. But again, you cannot deny that it is not a fantastic cover. I love the
Right.
cover.
It
So
just feels cheap.
yeah, I when they do that, it does. It really does. Hopefully, one
Yeah.
day they're listening. One day, one day. But anyways, let's keep it rolling because up next we have Planet Death issue 0, a 1 in 500 incentive wraparound gatefold variant covered by Joe Quesada, and that alone, yeah, dude, Quesada, I love his stuff, dude.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
absolutely
I
incredible.
yeah, I love Joe Quesada. I mean, I one of my favorite scores, and just random story, but like one of my favorite scores ever was I bought like a collection really cheap, like just dude just trying to get rid of them. It was just a box, and inside of it was a signed Azrael #1 or something like that, and it was signed by Joe Quesada. It had the little, it didn't, there were no COAs because it was so old, but it was like in the back of it there was the convention that it was signed at that said Joe Quesada was there. It was like the little convention flyer was stuck into the back of the bag, and it was so cool. So I was that, yeah, it's just, I love Joe Quesada, and this is really neat. But a 1 in 500, that's pretty bonkers. That's awesome.
Yeah, dude. Well, again, this is Bad Idea Comics. Now, we're all familiar with Bad Idea, whether you love them or hate them for some of the things they do marketing wise, whatever. But, you know, the cover A for this one kind of reminds me of Gears of War. I don't know if you guys have ever have you seen the cover A for this?
Mm-mm.
You
No,
haven't?
no.
Okay, so hold on. Let me share my screen with you just to show you because, like, I don't know why I immediately got Gears of War vibes. Right?
Oh yeah, it really does look like Gears of War. Oh my god.
Tell me you see that. Tell me you
Yeah,
see.
100%.
Yeah, but it's pretty interesting, man. You've got Kolstad on that, creator and writer of the internationally acclaimed box office dominating motion picture John Wick. So this is going to be complete madness. So it seems like it could be a good read. So I'm going to pick this up. It's 40 page and it's prestige format, baby. Planet Death #1 comes out in July, so keep an eye out for that. But this issue 0, definitely gonna give it a read.
Yeah,
I'll give it.
Robert Venditti, he was a Green Lantern writer for a while there, and he was good. I enjoyed his run on Green Lantern, so shout out to him. Good
Yeah,
stuff.
exactly. But anyways, let's keep it rolling because up next, Apocalypse issue #2, 1 in 25 incentive, Sveta Shubina doing the incentives for this Pin Apocalypse run. It seems, dude, back to back bangers in my opinion. Dude,
you could say that.
I don't know. I don't know who to compare it to when it comes to the art style. No, guys, we're not in the hot topics. What just happened?
Just looking at this cover. Just looking at
But
this cover.
yeah, no. So looking at the cover, it's like I get, I don't know, like I get different artist vibes. It's like a mesh of like I want to say there's like a hint of Dave Stevens in there with a mix of like Campbell with a mix of like I don't know what it is, man. It's like
Yeah, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. It's very like Dave Stevens has that very I always think of like Dave Stevens as like this has this idea of how to draw like really classic kind of beauty. You know what I mean? Like just really understands it, like really gets it. And then but it does have that JSC kind of that kind of vibe to it at the same time. So yeah, you're right. There's some kind of a weird mesh here, but this is cool.
yeah, it works, and I love the art. The style is so good. So yeah, I'm really wanting to learn more about Sveta Shubina, the artist, because these are great covers in my opinion. So the 1 in 25 incentive for Pin Apocalypse issue number 2 was an incentive dropping. Now Rogue the Savage Land number 4. Campbell continues with his amazing covers for this run. Now we're getting a 4th cover, and we have Savage Land Rogue cover depiction by J. Scott Campbell, as I just said. But hang tight if you want to get crazy and spend a little more money just to get a Virgin cover. Well, you could, because there's a 1 in 100 incentive of this one, which I'll be honest, of all the covers, this one's not at the top of the list.
That's funny. This is not my favorite of these covers, but this is one of my like I really like this. I really like this J. Scott Campbell a little bit. I like it a little bit more than a lot of the stuff I've seen lately. I can't get over the one with the dinosaur on it. I think that's just the cool factor of that one kills me.
Right? Right?
So that one's always going to be at the top because as a kid, or just as a grown kid, I guess, still can't get over the dinosaurs on the cover. But if we take away the dinosaur cover, this might be my favorite one. I'm very like hot and cold on some of my J. Scott Campbell covers, and I dig this one. This one's nice. This is going to be one of those things where people are going to just like, you're going to go and collect this run just to have the Campbell covers here. Like you're going to go and get each of these Campbell covers just to complete this. If he continues to do this, you got to do it. Yeah.
Yeah, no, for sure, dude. Now, what I have to say though is I'm more of a trade guy than I am the Virgin cover collector, and especially when it comes to these ratios at 1 in 100s. But in this particular issue, I think that the Virgin works better, and it's rare I say that. Very rare.
I think the if you cover it up with some of that word marking, it really takes away from the pop of that purple in that background. So yeah, I'm with you here. I think the Virgin's probably it's the one, but man, you might have to wait on it.
Yeah.
You might have to wait on it for a little bit.
Yeah, man. But anyways, so up next, check this out, guys. We've got Spider-Verse versus Venomverse number 1. First appearance of Yaleo. Now, you're probably asking yourself, what is going on? This is probably just another Spider-Man character or a Venom character. No, it's actually going to be a symbiote, guys. So that's pretty interesting. Adds a nice little twist, in my opinion. So that's cool. Now, not only do we have this main cover here, we also get this insanely well done Lyrics Lee cover featuring Spider Prowler on here. It's the 1 in 100. This is also available in a trade. So if you're cheap like I am and you want it, then do it, because that's what I'm doing. I'm going with the trade. But yeah, this is a sick cover, dude. I love this.
This is probably not a word, but this is one of the most bitchinest Spider-Man covers I've seen in a long time. I love this thing. This is so good. Yeah, yeah. I don't typically buy I don't buy a ton of Spider-Man. I buy issues here and there or ones that I think are going to be big. But I'm not like an active Spider-Man collector. But this is so good. I love it. It's awesome.
Bitchinest is
Bitchinest. It's the bitchinest Spider-Man cover I've seen in a while.
It's the word of the night, I guess. Thank you for that one.
You're welcome. You're
Yeah.
welcome.
But yeah, I'm totally picking this up. I'm curious to know about this symbiotes and how it's going to play out. I think everybody's kind of got a little bit of fatigue when it comes to Spider-Verse stuff or Venomverse stuff. But the clash of the two of them, yeah, I'm excited to see Spidey throw down with Venom again. Kind of missed that from, recent years. We haven't seen too much of it, at least not enough of it, in my opinion. So that's going to be a fun time. This is a great cover, so totally picking this up in a trade because I can't afford that. But anyways, speaking symbiotes, black suits, and all of that fun jazz, Ultimate Spider-Man issue 16, the Walsh variant, is giving us the first cover appearance of Richard Parker as Spider-Man. Because yes, boys and girls, if you're keeping up with what's happening in this book, well, Richard Parker, Peter, and MJ's son, has the suit. And man, it is getting intense, dude. I'm starting to worry more for what's going to be the end result. Now having these two, there's two Spider-Men at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Does Peter bite the bullet again, bro? It's a question that's lingering.
Yeah, I mean, it's the alternate universe. You can do whatever the hell you want, can't you? I said I literally, you set this up perfectly. I just said I don't actively collect Spider-Man or keep up with a lot of Spider-Man. This is the one that I do actually collect and read and keep up with.
Oh yeah.
But so I'm obviously very excited about this. This is awesome. It's been a great read. It's been a lot of fun. Yeah, give the man his flowers. He did call it. But yeah, this is a great variant just on its own. Even if you're not reading it, if you're not into it or anything like that, I definitely love this. This is a great variant. I love it.
Yeah, by far one of my favorite books that's going to be available on FOC this week because Ultimate Spider-Man just keeps delivering. There has not been one issue where I close the book and I'm like, that was a filler or whatever.
Nope.
Like the story progresses. I love it month to month. Can't go wrong, guys. So I encourage everybody to pick this up. I think of all covers, don't get me wrong, there is a wonderful cover as well that is available for Ultimate Spider-Man 16. It is the one that has Mysterio on it, and it's the Sandoval cover. It's like yellow, and you got Mysterio at the forefront. Very nice, nice cover. But I think the Walsh one is the one to go with. So this is the one I'm getting. It sounds like Travis is getting. And guys, if I have to talk one of my favorite covers this week, this Fantastic Four number 5, the 1 in 25 incentive. It is a Doctor Doom cover depiction by Ryan Brown. It is the thumbnail tonight because when something is fire, it is goddamn pure fire. And I got to show this as much as possible. So yes, I love this. Love this cover.
Yeah, this has got to be the cover of the week. Get that man some Visine though. Good Lord, he really went hard on the red eyes on this one. But yeah, no, this is fantastic. This is an instant. Now, did they do a version of this? Do we know? Like, did they do one?
No, I don't think so. By the way, this is the facsimile. So if you guys are not aware, Fantastic Four 5, because I know there's an ongoing Fantastic Four at the moment, but Fantastic Four 5, this is the facsimile, which we all know. Doctor Doom. So it makes sense that we get an insane cover. And thank you, because it's funny how Marvel treats the facsimiles better than they do the ongoing titles, because we get an entirely different cover for the incentive, and this one hits so good.
It's great. I was asking because I'm kind of surprised they didn't go that route. They didn't go with maybe do like a 1/100 on a version of this, because it feels like it's made for it. But honestly, I sort of like it better because it has the old font, the old title font at the top. It just, I'm here for it. This is great. Ryan Brown, good God.
Yeah. Like he brought the heat.
For sure.
Brought the heat for this one. But bringing the heat, that was the FOC selections of the week by Lefteros, who also brought the heat. So thank you, Lefteros, for that. Now, if you want to support Lefteros, as I said, go and follow him over on Instagram. You could also go visit comicnation.us. If you live in the United States, you want to order any of these books, no one's telling you to buy them all. Buy the ones you like. You can use discount code BlackCrown to get an additional 5% off they're already giving you 15% off. So as I said, if you're in the States, go visit comicnation.us. Canada, we got comiclegion.ca. 20% off already every single week on the cover price of FOC. And you can get an additional 5% off of your first order by using discount code ENLIST. Now, if you want to read into Lefteros' picks this week, definitely go visit coverprice.com. You can check out the full article right there. And don't forget to subscribe to Covrprice's YouTube channel, because myself and the rest of the crew go live every Tuesday and Thursday to bring you the top 10 comics that sell within the week and those weekly shakers, where Travis himself, tonight's guest, actually does some of the write-ups for that when he, writes well.
Not often. Not often.
No, I'm kidding. He's
Not
always
often.
there every single week, man. So I appreciate you, Travis. And guys, if you're having fun tonight, make sure to hit the subscribe button, because we do this every single week. Now, the market report. We're going to dive into it. We're going to have some fun with this. But then the hot topics. Brace yourself, boys and girls. There's a lot of fun stuff to talk about. So we're going to kick it off with the market. Travis, are you ready?
Well, yeah.
Duh. All right, guys, market report. I am looking at everybody's list, whether it's the House of Stein, CBSI, Key Collector, Cover Price, Go Collect, checking sales over on eBay. If you got an Instagram page, I'm looking at it. If you got a YouTube channel, I'm checking you out, seeing what you're talking about every now and then, whenever I can. But most importantly, every single week, the Baker Shakers. That's right. Michael Baker hits me up to tell me about books that sold on the aftermarket. And God bless his soul, because not only has Michael Baker been part of this show since the get-go, since episode 1, has been so supportive, but now the man has started his own clan. He's got his little disciples, or whatever we want to call it. There's a team working together to bring us the sales every week. So shout out to Michael Baker and to Derek Nyman and to everybody who is part of this, guys, because I appreciate you. I love you. The chat is part of the show. Sure, there's one guest every week, but you guys are the main guest as well. So let's get into it with the first book on the list. Travis, we're bringing the Spectacular Spider-Man issue 15, the first appearance of the second Spider Queen, Adriana Soria. Ron, your mint $40. This was on Key Collector's trending 20. It made lists throughout all platforms, but this is where I saw it, and I find this to be hilarious simply because nobody up until this week ever cared about the Spider Queen, but rumors going around that apparently Spider-Man 4, they're eyeing some female character, and I don't know why everybody flocked to this as speculation.
It's whatever. I mean, I don't have it. I don't even have this book, but I'm certainly not running out to buy it. But no, I mean, like, anytime there's some speculation, people are going to flock to anything they can flock to try and get maybe a leg up on anybody else on trying to get a book cheap and maybe flip it for big money. Hey, if you got this one right now, sell it. if you're not attached to it, sell it.
Don't get me wrong, it's a nice cover, but
it's a great. As I was saying, if you're not attached to it, if you love the cover, don't sell it. If you love the book, don't sell it. But if you just have it, go flip it. Go get something. Go get something else. This is a pretty obscure one. I like it though. I love it when stuff like this happens. It always makes for fun conversation.
Absolutely, man. Now Chia and myself, I can't remember because we talk so much within the week that I don't know if I said this on stream with you guys last week, or was it via chat or a phone call or whatever it was, but talking about the fact that it's expected to see Mayday Parker, right? Within this, because the whole Sadie casting that took place, and how we're probably going to see Spider Island. So if that's the case, I think, you might want to look, as he said, at some other books rather than this one. But still very interesting to see that this one getting some love. Again, mind-blowing, because never in my life did I think, like, the definitely a dollar book. we'll say $3 at best on a good day. Now
Yeah.
hitting $40. This is pretty insane, dude.
To those of you who have 2 copies of this, definitely sell one of them. Just saying, like,
Sell both.
sell both.
Buy
Sell
it
them.
back.
Yeah,
Buy it back.
you'll
Yep.
be fine. You'll be fine.
Yep. Anyways, Spectacular Spider-Man issue 15 hitting $40 for Ron Year Mints, and that is very impressive. Now, another book that got some love based on Disney stuff, and of course, we got Daredevil, and Daredevil has been amazing. I loved episode 5 and 6 back to back. Some people hating on it, which I still don't get, but whatever. To each their own. Daredevil 58, the first appearance of Angela Del Toro, who becomes the fourth White Tiger, CGC 98, $275. This one came in at number 2 on CBSI's Hot 10. It's made lists again across multiple platforms, and the book carrying some weight to it because within the show, Angela Del Toro, well, we saw some of the stuff that happened. Muse, I thought they were gonna. She was in for. I thought that was it. I don't know about you, dude.
Yeah, I'm not surprised to see this pop at all. But it's still definitely gettable at a decent price. I think this one hit the top 10 this week too, and I think you can still get a raw near mint on this for like $10-$12 or something like that. So
yeah,
I mean, if it holds,
very impressive sale again.
Yeah.
Now, I will say the cover is gorgeous, dude. Like it's
I wouldn't sell it. That's the problem. I would just buy it and keep it.
Yeah. I'm one of those. I don't know if, again, I can't remember where I say these things because I talk too much, but literally I'm one of those where I don't buy on the low to like make a profit. I just buy on the low to say I'm victorious. I didn't pay premium, right? That's my goal at all times. Like I don't care to make the flip. For me, it's mostly because I want to buy it low. So I think I'm gonna have to wait on this one. It seems like the character is here to stay, though, with the way things are moving within the series. So
right,
we'll see how it plays out, man.
I'm definitely excited about it. It's going to be cool to see where they go with it. But yeah. See, Daredevil is just not something that I have bought regularly. It's something I'll pick up if I get a good deal on a key issue or I find a cover I like, I'll grab it. So not one I currently have. But one that when I saw the cover, I was like, oh, I would probably buy this and not sell it. So this is not really a great time for me.
Yep. Exactly, man.
So, anyway.
Yeah. Anyways, Daredevil 58, guys. CGC 9.8, $275. Again, making lists across multiple platforms. Now, here's a cool one. The Incredible Hulk 340. You're looking at this, you probably think it's just a regular book, but no, it's not. It's actually the 2024 McFarlane Toys reprint, and it was included with the statue, which is very impressive to see the sale hit for a raw near mint plus $351. This was a cover price daily shaker. This pays your statue. You could buy another one if you find it out in the wild, which I wish you the best. But yeah, man, dude, $351 for this. You could get the OG. You can get the original one.
I saw this and I said, this cannot be right. No, it's right. It's correct. This happened.
Yep.
What the hell?
Yep.
This is crazy. I mean, just, for me, like any raw book hitting that kind of number for something that, and again, yeah, it's an older book and it's an iconic book. It's a key book, whatever, all that stuff, right? But the fact of the matter is, yeah, love for comics is absolutely right. Fact of the matter is, though, like, this book legitimately just came out last year. This actual book just came out last year and just sold for raw $350. That's bonkers.
It's insanity, dude. You got yourself the amazing statue for free. Technically, if you turned around and sold this, and you could buy yourself another one if you could find it out in the wild. But this is a very impressive sale. Again, highest sale to date on the Cover Price Daily Shaker that they've recorded on their website, and it is so impressive to see because $351. I would be going for the actual 340, if you know what I mean, the actual Hulk book in first print.
Yeah. Yeah, you'd be going for 340 for 350. Yeah.
Madness, absolute madness. So, guys, yeah, Incredible Hulk 340, the McFarlane Toys reprint that was included with the statue, hit a raw near mint plus sale for $351. Now, another fun one I want to talk about is this one, Spawn 361. Surprisingly, not part of the Baker Shakers, but the 2025 WonderCon exclusive that everybody was talking about. Yes, there were WonderCon exclusives this weekend, but I think it's safe to say that this was the one everybody wanted. It is a wraparound cover by Brett Booth, and it is signed by Todd McFarlane and a raw near mint already hitting 199 US dollars. Cover price daily shaker. I believe we'll start to see a few more bigger sales as this weekend comes to wind down. We're at the end of the weekend as we speak. So throughout the week, don't be surprised if this makes the list over on Cover Price. I could see it falling into the top 20 easily.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think you're right. This is great. It doesn't surprise me. Did these? I guess the question I have, and maybe somebody in the chat can answer this, but did they come pre-signed, or did you have to take them and get them signed? You have to get the book and then get it signed.
I think they were pre-signed, dude. I didn't.
Okay, well that's good. That helps. I was just curious about that. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, if they came pre-signed, then yeah, you're probably going to see these start to bounce up. Not that it makes a huge difference, but there's always kind of like a little bit of a difference than like taking it up to the table and getting it signed and then selling it, even if it is an exclusive, versus something that came signed. Because that means there's a set number of those, and whatever. Yeah, you know what I mean. But yeah, it's that's interesting. This is not going to go down. This is not going to go down.
I don't think so either. And I'm willing to pay premium for something that says Todd McFarlane rather than T McFarlane. So it is cool. I didn't see a single person in line for this with Todd McFarlane getting it signed or anything. So I strongly believe that this was just pre-signed. But again, pretty cool. Lots of people were out and about trying to scoop this up, and I saw quite a few over on Instagram. So shout out to everybody who managed to get one. I know that Paul in the 619 was posting he got one. Quite a few people, like I said. I'm not going to shout out every single person, but just to give you an idea. So shout out to everybody who got one. If you did, are you holding? Are you selling? Let me know in the comments. But Spawn 361, the 2025 WonderCon exclusive, signed by McFarlane. For a raw near mint, we're seeing sales already at 199 US dollars. Now, here's a foreign comic. We're going foreign. Fantastic Four 48. 1966. I love these foreign comics, by the way. But anyways, Classics in Netherlands. First appearance of Silver Surfer. Of course, we get Galactus in a cameo. CGC 3.0. 350 US dollars. This one being our first Baker Shaker on the list tonight. The guy knows me. These foreign comics are so cool, dude. Like, it's totally different. Like,
yeah,
love it.
Yeah, it's great. I specifically foreign comics that are prints of well-known American comics, like, or you know what I mean, like, I don't know what it is, but when you see foreign versions of comics that are like legendary, they just are always so fun. Yeah. So this is great. I love seeing these things come across. They're awesome.
So, Travis, I apologize for doing this to you because it's the first that we're going to start doing this every single time there's a foreign comic on the list. We're going to break the ice, pop the cherry, and it's going to be with you. So, that being said, every time there is a foreign comic, I'm going to ask the guest to pronounce the comic. It's not Fantastic Four 48. Read it as it is on the book. Go for it.
De Veer, oh. Verdedigers? De komst van Galactus. There you go.
He did pretty good. He did pretty good.
That writing is small up there.
Look at you with the torch. That was awesome. I love it. Yes, I think that's going to be a staple. Every time there's a foreign comic, guys. See, now I'm going to motivate everybody to send me as many foreign comics as possible so we can just troll every week. But yeah, no, it's really cool. You did a great job, Travis. Look at you, bro, setting the bar high.
it was that last one that got me. That third. My God, there's too many D's too close together. I can't
Yeah,
do it.
yeah, man. But like I said, you set the bar high for all future guests. So, guys, brace yourselves in the future. Fantastic Four 48, the Netherlands classics. I love it. Again, first appearance of Silver Surfer CGC 3.0, $350. Up next, here's another fun one. We got Mad 24. We're going back even further to 1955. This is the first magazine-sized issue. First cover of What Me Worry, CGC 8.0. $594. Those of you looking at this cover, you're probably like, what cover appearance of What Me Worry? Well, look all the way dead center to the top. That notorious face that we have seen throughout Mad magazines throughout time is sitting right there at the top. And yeah, man, this is pretty cool, man.
Yeah, it took me a second. I was going to ask you about this when you sent it to me. I was like, where the hell is the cover appearance? And I kept looking at it and kept looking at it and finally found it and was like, there we go. Now it makes sense. This is cool though. Mad 24 was the first appearance of What Me Worry. That's I never would have guessed. That's fantastic. This is a big sell too. Almost $600.
Right?
That's nice.
It ain't cheap, bro.
No way.
Ain't
No way.
But again, a part of history, pop culture history, I guess we could say here. Because yeah, man, it's his first cover appearance on this, and I think that's really neat to have within your collection, especially if you're a fan of any of these Mad magazines and stuff like that. So I like this. Very cool. Mad 24, CGC 8.0, $594. Baker Shaker this week. Now, up next, this is one I think you might enjoy a little more than the norm. World's Finest Comics, 179. We're going back to 1968 with this one. It is a giant size 80-page book, and the cover is Neil Adams. CGC 9.8. Very impressive to see 9.8 on this one. $775. Cover price daily shaker. It's actually the highest sale to date ever recorded. Now, I like this because you got so much going on the cover where, Batman and Superman are standing right there, staring you straight in the eye and telling you, here's the startling origin of the Superman Batman team up. And he's pointing to the world's finest right there. And then you got Superman and the amazing way we learned each other's secret identities. And he's pointing to another Superman issue right there. So it's pretty cool. I love this. There's a lot going on, but it's just such a sick cover. I love Neil Adams, dude.
Yeah, this is unbelievable. I can't believe there's a 9.8. Well, there always seems to be one, right? But I'm honestly like, this is great. I have a soft spot in my heart for World's Finest. It's one of my favorite series, like older DC series. Well, the new World's Finest was pretty solid too. But it's one of my favorite older DC series. And classic Neil Adams DC is just superb. It's unbelievable. So 9.8 in this is one that I'd like to see in person. You know what I mean?
Just want to hold it.
Just want to see it. Like, I just want to see this book and a 9.8 in person. I think it would be awesome.
I'm impressed to even see with white pages, to be honest.
Right. Exactly. They're very, these World Finest books most of them were kicked to shit. So, yeah, I'm kind of with Baker on this. I don't think the pricing's all that bad for a 9.8 in this. Not for a classic Neil Adams.
That was the next spot I was gonna just talk about, because like $775 for CGC 9.8 and a 9.8, dude, is like, that is good. That is a good buy. I don't know who bought this. Although it is the highest sale to date, it's just prime example on how some of these DC books are kind of underappreciated.
Yeah, I think they are. By and large, it feels like they are. I mean, I think I talk about some of those classic Green Lantern keys are like, you look at some of the sales of them, and even with the series coming up, and even with all the new stuff going on over at Warner Brothers, classic Green Lantern keys are not that expensive comparative to like other major series or other major characters. And yeah, it's it's just one of those things. So.
Yep. I love this. It's a wonderful, wonderful sale. It's World's Finest Comics issue 179, CGC 9.8, $775. Up next, Oh boy, I warned you guys about these Spawn blanks, guys. And again, surprisingly, not a Baker Shaker, but Spawn 265. It is the blank cover done by Scorpion Comics with the gold logo on it. It is one of 666 copies. I wonder why that number. CGC 98, 500 US dollars. Cover price daily shaker. Top sale right here. This is, again, mind blowing, but these are hard to come across. And it seems Spawn fans, as always, are ready to buy them up.
Spawn fans buy up a limited edition run of a cover? No chance. No, this is these blank Spawn covers are popping off. Seems like we have one every week, every other week. There's something coming up with a blank Spawn cover lately. Nice get, Cliff. But yeah, yeah, this is 500. That's big boy money for a blank cover and a
Right?
CGC 98 too. See, that's okay. Here's my thing here.
I already know where you're going. I already know.
Why did you buy it graded?
Yeah.
Why'd you buy it and then grade it? I don't know, man. I don't know. Whatever.
So that's the thing is it's a 9/8 scale. This is graded. It's a blank cover. You would think you want to do something to this.
But you putting it on the wall? I don't know. I mean, look, to each their own. Like, I get it. Like, some people like, they like to keep them pristine and everything like that. That's great. But I don't know. Like, it's just blank. I feel like I feel dumb for saying it, but yeah, I get it. It's cool. But yeah, these blank Spawn covers just keep popping up, and good for those selling them. And you know what? From what I know about diehard Spawn fans,
Yeah.
good get. Doesn't matter how much you pay for it, you're gonna be happy with it.
Travis, the logo itself is worth the price of admission, I guess, for most. Because again, as a blank cover, I would imagine somebody would want to get a remark on here or something. Get something done by Todd himself or whoever. But yeah, again, the fact that it is limited to 666 copies, clearly, Spawn fans. I love you guys so much.
You can do it. You could do an all black cover, and then like when you look at it in the right light, it's just like your reflection. So it's like your Spawn. That would be cool.
I'm pretty sure there's all black Spawn.
There you go. There you go. We'll call it the reflective cover. There you go. You can just look at it in a slab in the right. I could get that. I could get behind that.
Yeah,
That's
man.
good.
You wake up every single day. You stare straight into that as serious as possible.
You just gotta hit the light right, and then you're good.
Yeah, I like this idea. But guys, Spawn 265 blank Scorpion Comics gold logo, one of 666 copies, had a CGC 98 sale for 500 US dollars. Now up next, a book that I feel like everybody, went through some kind of emotion with it in the pandemic, but this one here being a ratio, which is pretty cool. It's The War of the Realms, New Agents of Atlas, issue number 2. This is the 1-in-25 ratio by Ron Lim. First full appearance of Swordmaster Lin Lai, and I love Swordmaster since I discovered him within the pandemic. CGC 98, 450 US dollars. Baker Shaker this week. A wonderful book to have. The character, later went on to become Iron Fist. Some people liked it, some people didn't. I enjoyed it, dude, but I love the character Swordmaster. The entire Swordmaster run is such a great read. There's some great characters in there. How, things played out where he did go on to become Iron Fist was pretty interesting. So I think this is a good book to have.
Yeah, I think you're right. I don't think there's any question about it. I like this cover. I like this a lot, actually. I don't remember seeing this. It just somehow has slipped past me somehow. But yeah, this is a cool cover. I'm a fan of this, and it doesn't really surprise me to see it pop off for a big number here. So this is cool for sure.
Yep.
I love Ron Lim. I really do. I like all the Ron Lim stuff. It's awesome.
Ron Lin's awesome, but again, so is the character, man. I love Swordmaster, as I said. I was all in on Swordmaster, and I read that series. Some of the Swordmaster books were kind of hard to come across. Somebody who was looking to complete the run like myself, took me some time, dude. It took me some time. It was not easy. And, some of these other issues, that issue number one, of course, everybody's loving Luna Snow, etc. right now, especially with Marvel Rivals. But there's not just a first printing, there's a second printing. That third printing, dude, I came across 2 copies in the wild. Both came back CGC 98. Unfortunately, let those go. But again, if you guys can come across those third printings for the first issue, those are great books to have, man. They were going for a good premium once upon a time. I haven't checked recently to see what those are going for, but this 1 in 25 ratio, absolutely love it. I'm absolutely loving that Vancouver Comic Junkies in the chat as well, because I miss this guy so much, dude. Hit me up. Let's connect, please. I need to see you again. Been too long, but yeah, man. Love this book. So, War of the Realms, The New Agents of Atlas, number 2, the 1 in 25 ratio by Ron Lim, CGC 98, $450 US. Now, here's a gorgeous cover, one that it just blows my mind to see such sales. In fact, you guys might see this price right now or hear about this price and think, holy cow, that is a lot of coin. This is actually a deal considering what this has gone for in the past. Spider-Gwen, Ghost Spider, issue number 1. We're going back to 2018. This is from the 2018 run. The 1 in 100 ratio by Ji-Hung Lee. CGC 98 sold for $850 US. This one being a Baker Shaker this week. And $850 US sounds like a lot, right? Does it not?
It does, but some of these random Spider-Man variants, man, they get up there quick, and this one's gotten up there higher than that, right? I mean, like, so, yeah, this is a good cover, but yeah, yeah, that's it's a lot of money. That's a lot of money, man.
It is.
I mean, even and like I get it, like I get what we're all saying here. Like it's comparatively, this is probably a deal. A lot of money.
Yeah,
a lot of money.
So other sales have gone for the 4 digits. We're going into the $1,000 territory. Now, what's interesting right now, and I'm talking today, let's look, let's not look at the past. Let's look at today at $850 US. Again, consider it a bargain when you factor some of the prices that this has gone for in the past. But at $850 US, you're currently looking at the price of her actual first appearance in Edge of Spider-Verse issue 2. So if I had to weigh my options, I'd probably lean more towards the other direction because I prefer a first appearance over the ratio. But there's nothing wrong with this. Again, a book you don't see come up too often. It's a stunning cover. I love this, but it has sold for much higher in the past. So 850. The fact I'm even telling you guys consider this a bargain, it just gives you an idea of how high it's gone in the past.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's definitely a bargain compared to what it's gone for. It's just what you're into. Like I'm keys over covers. That's me. Like
same
keys over covers every day of the week. But it's a great cover. It's a great cover. May not be my favorite Gwen cover ever, but you know what I mean. Still great cover, and shout out to who got it because I'm sure they're feeling pretty good right now.
Yep,
for a lot of reasons.
Yep,
you can drop that kind of coin. You're probably feeling pretty good for a lot of reasons, so that's good.
Yeah, dude, I'm a big fan of Gwen. I collect a lot of things Gwen related. I'm still missing some good key Gwen books.
Buddy, we gotta talk.
Yeah, I'm still. There's 2 books that I'm really looking for right now. Obviously, the death of Gwen Stacy. I would like to have that in a high grade, but there's also that Spider Gwen 24. That's where she gets the symbiote, and that's a great book to have as well. It's all black. Those 9/8s, not always easy to come across, but somebody came across this Spider-Gwen Ghost Rider number 1 in a CGC 98 and spent $850 US. So shout out to whoever bought that. Now, up next, this book blows my mind every single time because Wonder Woman 28. We're going back to 2014 on this one. It is the 1 in 25 steampunk variant. 31 CGC 9/6s on the sensors. There's a few 9/8s as well that exist, but to give you an idea of how sought after this book is and the premium it commands, a CGC 9/6 sold for $1,530 US. Baker Shaker this week.
Never stops amazing me. This
right?
is crazy. It's a ghost. it's not out there. It doesn't actually exist. That 31 is not a real number. This book actually doesn't exist. I'm convinced of it. It just doesn't. I've never seen it. Um,
Yep.
but nobody was. Well, I don't want to say nobody, but mostly nobody was ordering 25 copies of Wonder Woman in 2014,
Nope.
especially not 28 issues into the series.
Yeah.
So it's just this is not an easy book to find. Um, but hey, these I always talk about. I always bring up the IDWRI variants from like the 2010s. Those retailer incentive variants. Like they're
Yep.
all scarce, all of them. It's the same thing with these 1 in 25s, these late issue 1 in 25s are just really, really, really hard to find, especially if it's not, I mean, Wonder Woman's a big title, but nobody was ordering this many back then. So this is an absolute ghost. I love seeing this cover. This is a great cover. So
Yeah. Now, J.G. Jones is the one who did the cover, and
yeah.
like the cover is just stunning. Don't get me
Mm-hmm.
wrong. Like I think if you came across this in a long box, you'd probably even think that this was just a regular cover for the book, maybe a cover B at best or whatever. But no, this is the 1 in 25. And as Travis was saying, I was collecting the Wonder Woman run back at this point in 2014, and I never saw this ever in person. I don't think any shop, as you said, was ordering 25 copies of Wonder Woman back then. Maybe as most series go, those first issues always tend to get the love. The issue 1, 2, 3, we'll give it up until 5 and call it a day, right? That's how most people go. Now, this one here, Complete Ghost, 29 of these were actually blue labels. 2 of them were signed by who? Maybe, I don't know. I would assume JG Jones. I don't know.
What if it was Gal? Oh my God, could you imagine?
uh, but dude, it's a sexy cover. It's a sexy cover. I love this. The Wild Wild West vibe to it. America screams America. Love this. It's so good that people pay the premium, as you could see, because Wonder Woman issue 28 in a CGC 96 sold for 1,530 US dollars. That is the 1 in 25 incentive. Guys, that was the market report, but hang tight, baby. Hang tight. We have time. We're only an hour and 12 minutes in, and we're already hitting the hot topics, and we have quite a few to get into. Might throw in a curveball, kind of like I did last week, and have another discussion with you guys. So, Travis, I have to ask for the last time, sir. Are you ready?
Okay, now I'm ready.
Okay, there you go. Thank you. All right, guys, the hot topics of the week. Like I said, so much has taken place. And if you guys can, stick around to watch chairs drop every 15 minutes for a span of what? I think it was like 9 hours. I think we can get through this all together because we have just a few minutes left. So, to kick it off with the hot topics, first thing that dropped that I saw this week that blew my mind was that Alliance Entertainment buys Diamond Comic Distributors. Hallelujah. For some, I guess. But anyways, now, of course, the Chapter 11 bankruptcy took place. Diamond went through all of that stuff. We saw news coming out week after week. They were chasing retailers, for coin, which I could totally understand. Now, Alliance Entertainment acquires Diamond Comic Distributors after a Chapter 11 bankruptcy auction. Acquisition includes Diamond Select Toys, collectible grading authority, enhancing product portfolio. Now, Alliance aims to blend Diamond's legacy with its distribution, boosting cross-channel synergies. And we're going to dive into that in just a second. Now, transaction backed by a raised 160 million credit facility expected to close by April 2025. So it's not been finalized yet, but by April, we're going to see this sale go through. So automatically, with everything that's happened with Diamond, I think it's safe to say this is good news, right?
Yeah, I would say to an extent. I mean, at least, they got bought by someone who has a stake in the game. I mean, Alliance is a massive entertainment distributor. They, they work in all realms of entertainment. So from music to like vinyl. They're a distributor of Audio Technica and some of these other big vinyl companies or vinyl stereo equipment companies. But they do deal in collectibles. I think you and I were talking about it a little bit before. They do deal with collectibles. They've done this before a little bit. They've worked with Funko and a couple other things. But we'll see what's going to happen. I don't know if this is the one thing that after reading this again, I sort of wonder is this going to be? Are they just going to mostly push the toy side of things since they're already involved in that market? Or are they going to really, really, really push hard into comic books, which they have not done up until now? So
Yeah, well, here's one thing that I like most about this news so far. Now, as you guys can see, this is the website of Alliance Entertainment, and you can see, as Travis was just mentioning, the toys side of things. You can see plenty of that. That you saw some arcades and other fun things. Now, they dive into multiple things. That being said, they have 9 million consumer shipments. There's 200 plus online retailers that they deal with, 35,000 retail storefronts. So as you can see, they've got that little image of Walmart right there. So they're not dealing with small time players in the game. There's a lot of big people here. You got 600 plus labels and studios, which makes myself and Travis pretty excited about. We'll dive into that in just a second. And 72 countries. This now broadens the horizon, in my opinion, when it comes to comics. Because if that is the route they end up going, having, I guess, more countries receiving comics and, broadening out, that would be pretty cool. Now, looking at all the things that they touch on, let's talk the labels and the studios and stuff like that. Wouldn't it be amazing, first off, if we could see on Previews World? I imagine they might keep the website or change it up, whatever it might be. But could you imagine having the glory of getting a comic with a vinyl? Dude, I love vinyls. You know what I mean? I'm still trying to find a specific vinyl. It's actually the Blink 182 San Diego one. So that's one that I absolutely want. But yeah, man, wouldn't that be awesome to see? Like, are we gonna see crossing over of things here? Like maybe look, Walmart as a prime example. We had the Marvel Walmart packs. Could we see more things? Will there be Walmart exclusives? Labels, musicians getting into writing comics or whatever. Like, there's tons of opportunity, in my opinion.
yeah, I mean, it certainly opens up maybe some doors that were probably not open. Certainly with Diamond's financial situation coming up to now. Alliance is Alliance is certainly a big. I mean, look, they've got the spending power. They've got the money behind this. They're investing in it. They're not obviously going to buy it to just put it out to pasture. But I do think that I think it's something that's possible. It's definitely an exciting, like the way you pitched it is something that it's just like certainly for me as well is like that's a really awesome idea. It'd be something really cool to see. I just hope that it is something kind of a revamp from what we were used to previously with Diamond. Not bashing Diamond, just a refresh, kind of a reorganization and kind of a redo here.
Yeah,
We had the chance to do this again, and let's do it differently. So
exactly. Now, I do want to correct myself because I said San Diego because it's one of the songs on the Blink 182 vinyl, but it's California, the vinyl I'm looking for, just so you know. But to continue the conversation, though, Travis, this again opens doors, in my opinion, for multiple crossovers and things like that. So maybe are they going to push more products that they're already dealing with over on Previews World? Will we see more toys outside of, let's say, McFarlane and stuff like that? Or are we going to see? Don't get me wrong, like Previews was already doing like Funkos and everything else. Diamond was dealing with stuff like that, but we could see more things take place. I would love to see some crossover things. You know what I mean? Like, I was talking about seeing vinyls and stuff like that. Like you can walk into your LCS and grab a comic and grab yourself a vinyl or something, or maybe they managed to get people working together to produce such cool things. But besides that, comic shops. I think that's going to be the question, is that now comic shops have already made the jumps, right? Like who went to Penguin, who went to Lunar. I think this is where now Alliance is going to have to do some heavy lifting, some serious work to convince people to come back.
If they
Um,
want to.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And I would imagine they would want to, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I again, it just depends. That's just me just reading that little excerpt. That little excerpt that just you posted. It just didn't say anything specific about comic distribution, whether it was trades or anything else. There's nothing really in there about it, so I don't know if that was intentional or just if they've lumped that in with the collectible grading authority or whatever they called it. I don't know. I'm not sure, but it's gonna be interesting to see. It would feel, I don't know, it would feel kind of odd if they didn't, but they're not. But like you said, it's an uphill battle now to try and go and get that goodwill back that's kind of been beat down over the last little bit, and you've got all these LCSs having jumped to Lunar and Penguin now, so it's gonna be interesting to see. I hope that they do not quit comics in any way, but there's been no indication one way or the other, so we'll see.
Yeah, Derek saying the CEO seemed to indicate that distributing small dollar value stuff like $5 may not be worth it to them. So I'm not sure they're going to try to morph trade paperbacks, hardcovers, or whatever. I would love that. That's my hope as a collector, right? On the smaller end, like for us people, I think it would be amazing, the collectors, but who knows what direction this is going to go. So it's kind of interesting. I'm kind of happy that the diamond stuff is coming to end, though. I think that's where I get to rejoice, and I know that most retailers that have dealt with diamond kind of feel the same way, because like on the customer service side of things, like I've heard nothing but horror stories. I've witnessed horror stories, like even while being in shops and hearing some conversations while talking with store owners, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, are you seriously going through this? Like, I feel terrible for you. But yeah, man. So let's see how this plays out. We shall see. But so far, I think possibilities are definitely there, and it moves things in a better light, in my opinion, with everything that's happened already with Diamond. So that's that for that. Now, up next, very quickly, I just want to let you guys know, because for myself, this is huge news. I'm excited because The Legend of Zelda is going to have an official release date, and they announced it for March 26, 2027, that being the live action Legend of Zelda film. And apparently, Wes Ball is going to be directing this. There's been no casting announcement yet, but I hope you guys have your Zelda books in hand and ready to go, because, man, yeah, I'm so excited. They cannot mess this up. Please don't.
So that's the problem. So I'm scared. I'm terrified. I'm horrified by this. This is like I'm excited. I'm so excited to see this, but I didn't care about Mario. I didn't care about Sonic. Like they could have been bad, and I wouldn't have lost sleep over it. The fact that Sonic was great is awesome. It makes it that much more enjoyable. This one I'm gonna care about. It's like this is the one that if they don't do right by this one, whoo, I'm gonna be upset. Nah, this is exciting. This is fun. A lot of people we've all talked about this. For anybody that's played these games growing up, have talked about this for years. Please don't screw this up, guys.
Yeah, like if I walk into this film and like Link is talking, I already know that the movie's a botch. Like it's over, right?
Yeah, it's see, this is what we're talking. This is what I mean. Like it's not the easiest adaptation, so you just got to be careful with it. Like I said, the rest of them can, they can kick rocks, and I love the Sonic movies. They're some of my absolute favorites.
Yeah.
But the rest, I don't care. This one, you can't mess this one up. This is the one.
Yeah, you gotta give us the just give me his scream, his battle scream. There you go. But anyway, so that's good news. I'm excited about that. Now, guys, I don't know if you saw this. Yeah, look at that Karen right there. DC fans apparently boycotting the upcoming Superman movie. Now, This was going around on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it, and then I was seeing it making its way over onto Instagram. People were talking about this, which I think is completely ridiculous. The boycotting thing, hold up, dude, hold up. What are you doing? Like, I get it, the Snyder stuff. People still want to see Henry Cavill. But I just found it strange how, like, people are saying DC fans. Travis, you're a fan of DC. I'm a fan of DC. By no means am I boycotting this, right?
If you're a DC fan, you should be excited anytime Superman is being given the movie. And
Exactly.
we're not getting another Batman movie. And I'm not shitting on Batman. I love Batman, but Jesus, like, you're getting a Superman movie again. Like, here's the thing: if you are a DC fan, and this is the only thing I'm saying, and I'm not gatekeeping at all, but if you are a DC fan and you don't like Superman, then you are not reading the right books. Like, you need to go find the right book and read it. I just anytime Superman is on screen, it's a big deal. It's a big deal for the entire brand. It's huge. And so I don't know. I mean, I'm sure that some of these people could be DC fans, or maybe they're just really upset about the Rebel Moon reviews. I don't know,
Yeah.
but I just do not get the entire blowback to this on, saying that, oh, we're not going to watch it because it's not Cavill. Man, whatever. Just don't watch it then. There's going to be millions of people show up and the movie's going to be a hit. James Gunn killed it. I'm getting crypto, so for me it's a win. I don't care.
Yeah.
Fuck out of here. I'm sorry.
Hey.
I can't do it. I can't deal with it. I can't deal with these people. I'm sorry. Sorry.
Yep. Dude, I think we all agree, and I'm happy to see the chat on this side, because you see Derek saying, like, what, it's like 0.0001% of people that are not going to go watch this movie because they're Snyder fans or whatever it is. Like, shut up. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not buying into it. I think we're in for a good ride, guys. Like, literally the month of July is giving us banger after banger. We're getting Superman, we're getting Fantastic Four. I think this boycott shit's not even going to work if it be true. I just found it funny because I saw it like sort of trending, and I was like, are we seriously talking about this, that people are gonna like boycott? This makes no sense. Why would you boycott? Like, this is what we hit reset, man, and we're gonna start with a bang.
I've gotten so aggravated about it that I've just started telling people that Tyler Hoechlin's a better Superman than Henry Cavill was. I'm not arguing that. I'm not trying to make that point. I'm just saying that that's my go-to now,
Yeah.
because whatever. Tyler Hoechlin's great. I'm not kidding. He's fantastic. Superman and Lois is a wonderful, wonderful show. But yeah, because that usually is a great opening salvo whenever I got to deal with the Snyder people. But
Yeah, it's interesting because between this and then there was the fact that apparently they were getting sued, right? You and I were talking about this via text messages and stuff like that. It's just completely stupid. It's completely stupid. I'm gonna call it for what it is, guys. I apologize if you're one of those that are intending on boycotting. Maybe take a deep look in the mirror and just go to a movie, enjoy it for what it is. Get yourself a nice popcorn. You might enjoy it a little bit. You know what I mean? Like, just live, touch grass. Don't boycott shit. Just go enjoy it, man. But yeah, this I'm excited about, and I just found it funny. Again,
it's gonna be great. Just shut up. Just go or don't go. Like, I don't. It's gonna be awesome. I don't know. Like, I don't know what to tell people. Like, just this is gonna be the most, for me. It's gonna be such a refreshing take from the, not that there was anything wrong with Man of Steel. I loved that movie. I hear you, Vancouver. That's awesome.
yeah,
I'm all about it. I'm all about it. No, but uh but no, like, the Man of Steel was so drab and dark, and look, I loved it. It was fine. It's great. Love it. Cool. But this movie's gonna be great. It's gonna be fun. And if you don't want to have fun with it, then just don't go see it. It's fine. It'll make plenty of money without your $15.
yeah, exactly.
It's just fine.
That was a perfect send off on this topic because yeah, stay home. It's okay. But anyways, let's keep it rolling very quickly. Guys, apparently there's going to be a new Venom revealed. Now, if you don't want to be spoiled, this is your time to turn away. But I think the internet has slowly started to spoil this within the last couple of hours because I was seeing some posts over on my Instagram and I was like, damn it, people are getting to this. But yeah, I just wanted to let you guys know that all new Venom is going to be releasing in the upcoming days. And who is the new Venom? Now, of course, we have had some suspects at the forefront, that being Madam Mask, of course, Robbie Robertson. We've had Rick Jones, Luke Cage, but it seems that none of these are the cases. So I'm going to count it down to 3 to give you guys time to walk away. So 3, 2, 1. None of them are the all new Venom. In fact, the actual person who is the host of Venom seems to be Mary Jane herself. That's right. You could see there is the spoiler variant that was available on FOC. So if you guys pre-ordered one, that's what it looks like to the left-hand side. Within the book there, you could see that MJ is coming out of that symbiote, and she says that, Robbie pretty much hit the jackpot. Pretty cool. I like the spoiler. I like the spoiler variant. It really pays homage to her, original comic debuts. So that I like, with the flower covering her. You could see on that cover, you can see her arms crossed outside of the symbiote. So it's covering her face. Again, I love that they called back to that. So that's really cool. Do I think MJ as Venom is cool? Absolutely not. But guys, look, she's had some horrific experiences with the symbiote, right, throughout her life, with Peter Parker and everything that's gone on, over and over and over again. But this, again, is kind of strange, because not once was MJ promoted. I guess they tried to go with a swerve here, but I don't know if this is going to stick the landing, man. I think it can make for a short, good story, given what I just said. The past trauma experiences she's had with the symbiote, but it's interesting.
So I haven't read any of these yet, but I did know about this, and you and I talked about this week, and I think my response was about what you would expect. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think Chia might have said something about it.
Yeah.
There it is. That's exactly right.
Yeah.
Why do that? Why go through all of that with saying like, oh, it's one of these people, and then pull the full curveball like this, and then go the MJ route. I don't know. For me, it's just kind of like, yeah.
It's
And
weird, right?
maybe yeah, and maybe it is short term. I hope that it is for folks that are like I said, I haven't read any of these. I have no stake in this game right now. I probably will read them. But yeah, I can imagine that folks are a little peeved about this.
So this is the other thing. Alex saying, I thought MJ was jackpot, and yeah, there's that, too, to think about. I'm not sure where they're going with this, but this is the reveal. So I just wanted to let you guys know. This is what's going to be dropping. It's, again, a very interesting choice. I do not see this playing out long term. I know that Dylan, of course, is living with herself and Paul. Everybody was actually thinking Paul was gonna, including myself. I thought Paul was gonna be the one who was behind being Venom. But this is the swerve they hit us with, and it seems that there is this variant as well, which is the Clayton Crane surprise variant that is going to be releasing. Shops have been receiving this. I'm not too sure if they were aware of it, but I was looking online, and as you could see, some of the pre-sales already going on. $50 Canadian already and above. So that's where it's sitting at the moment. But this was a complete surprise. So those 4 suspect variants that you saw by Clayton Crane were already, seen on FOC back when it was available for pre-order. But this one, I believe, is a 1 per shop, 1 per store, 1 per account. I'm not too sure how this is working, but I see, look at the middle sale here at $57.25. It's in a poly bag. So I believe this is how shops are receiving them. It looks like it's just a surprise variant, kind of like that Wolverine Capullo. You remember, like,
I tried to get that multiple times. I almost bought it once or twice and never pulled the trigger on it. I really liked that one a lot. I loved that cover, that Capullo. So yeah, it does. I believe probably is just I don't know. I've been hearing that it is one per store, and then I heard that it wasn't. I don't know, but I imagine it probably is just one per store like the other one.
Yeah. Well, again, I've not heard entirely from multiple shops, so I'm waiting to figure this out as well. But again, being a surprise variant and seeing it in its poly bag, I mean, you would assume this is a one per store, one per account, whatever it is, because I mean, you know how shops get their books. They get them just in the box,
Right.
completely raw.
Right.
Yeah. So if this is polybagged, that's what I'm thinking. So
Yeah.
just wanted to put it out there. You guys are aware now. You know who is Venom, and I cannot wait to see everyone's reactions already. I've seen some on Instagram, and the disappointment seems to be pretty unanimous across the board. So yeah, is what it is. But anyways, guys, you waited long enough for this discussion. You waited long enough to learn about the whole cast. And after 5.5 hours later, we got the full reveal of the Doomsday cast. And I'm gonna say full reveal very lightly, because I don't believe this is over. We know it's not over. They've come out saying there's more. I saw it on I think it was the Marvel X account or something, that they were saying, hang tight, there's more. But tons of characters making the way here. Of course, we're seeing Chris Hemsworth. Now, some people are finding this annoying because it kind of spoils other movies, right? Prime example right here. You've got Vanessa Kirby, who's there. And I mean, guys, we all saw this coming. We all saw this coming. It is mind blowing to know that this surpassed, I believe, 270 something million views. They streamed this from like the morning straight into the afternoon. I was in Ottawa, dude, and I was like getting updates of the chairs dropping when they would drop. Like, thank God I'm in a chat with people like Chiapet, Anthony from Reference Point Podcast. Shout out to him. But everybody was updating me, and I didn't have to watch the live stream, so I was very happy about that. But again, it does tend to spoil some things. We all knew Vanessa Kirby, Fantastic Four are going to make their way into the Doomsday or Secret Wars at some point. The incursion's bound to happen. We all know that. But then you get characters such as like here, let me point one out. We're getting Thunderbolts soon, right? And we thought that Sentry would be taking out some characters, and clearly that's not the case. You got David Harbour here as Red Guardian, so he's not biting the bullet in that movie. So again, I can understand why people were kind of frustrated with that. They were upset. On my end, I'm more excited to see that we're going to be getting Alan Cumming as a fucking Nightcrawler. That's amazing. You got James Marsden, who's back now as Cyclops. And although people feel like he didn't do the character justice in the original Fox stuff, but we're getting a lot of Fox characters here, man. You got Rebecca Romijn, dude, Mystique. Oh fuck, dude! I remember watching that as a kid. Who didn't get a chubby, man? You knew she was butt naked doing that. It was amazing, amazing. But yeah, man, you got Ian McKellen coming back as Magneto. You got Patrick Stewart as Professor X. So much awesomeness to look forward to here, and it's not done. They're hiding stuff from us.
Yeah, without a doubt. I just have to point out. I have to point out that I talked to you about this earlier. We have to get James Marsden driving in a car.
Yes,
with Rocket.
absolutely.
We have to complete the trilogy of James Marsden driving with
A furry pet.
CGI animals.
Yep.
We've already had it with Hop and Sonic, and now we need it with Rocket. We have to have it. So yeah. Yeah.
Ron Jeremy as the mole would be absolutely hilarious, man.
But yeah, no, this
Would
is
have.
this is so exciting. I remember that day. My phone was exploding. I was in presentations the whole day,
Yeah.
and trying to stay on task and seeing all the stuff roll in was something else. This is cool. This is a lot of fun. It's always fun when Kelsey Grammer shows up, Star Trek veteran Kelsey Grammer.
Yeah.
And Rebecca Romaine, Star Trek veteran Rebecca Romaine. I'm not going to go through all of them, but there's a lot of ex Star Trek people in here. Obviously, Patrick Stewart. So, yeah, we're getting some Trek love over here. This is great. But no, this is good stuff. I'm excited. This is I don't know how you could be any more excited for this. Yeah. Look, I'll say this, and I think it was Lifteris that I was talking to, the night Downey was announced as Doctor Doom. I believe I'm actually about 90% sure it was Lifteris I was talking to. I was very, very, very not excited about that. And instead of boycotting the stupid movie or making a stupid boycott about the movie, you know what I did? I said, you know what? Let's roll with it. And you know what? I've come around on it a little bit.
Yeah.
So don't boycott. Just let it happen.
Yeah, dude. No, RDJs. I think that they're gonna make perfect sense of the situation. So I'm excited about that. Now, looking at the casting, dude, like you've got Shang-Chi, you've got Beast, as you said, man. Kelsey Grammer. You've got so many amazing characters that are gonna be at play here in Doomsday, as we expected, guys. I mean, this is not a huge surprise, but you gotta factor, man, like how much money they are throwing into this. Just based on the casting alone, it is big names, guys. We've had some amazing big names within comic book films throughout the years. So to finally see the Fox X-Men come through, Channing Tatum is back, and I think people went bananas for that, as they should, because here he is now.
He made a name for himself.
He did. He about to make a name for himself again, man. And I'm excited for him on that. Pedro Pascal, you got so many big names here. Now, I'm anxious and curious to see how some of these exchanges are going to go. I mean, guys, we have Sue Storm and Namor in the same film. This could get spicy. You know what I mean? Like, there's tons of possibilities. But again, this is not going to be the final cast. We all know this. They're hiding. Guys, don't forget, Doctor Strange is not here. Apparently, Spider-Man 4 is apparently taking place during the events of Doomsday. I don't know if we'll see him within the film, but between Fantastic Four and Doomsday, there's nothing in between, guys. So we're gonna dive straight into this. So expect Fantastic Four to end off on such a big note that is gonna set up the pace for Doomsday.
It needs to.
Yeah,
It has to.
Yeah, you know that the big incursion is going to take place. Like something massive is going to happen. So I'm excited about that. All of this to say, this is great news. Shout out to Marvel for making us all watch chairs be put down for 5.5 hours or whatever it was. 270 something million views after the fact. That, tell me again that the MCU is dead. Tell me again that comic content is shit. Don't even at me, bro. Don't even at me.
It's not. And you know what? If 270 million people can watch chairs be put down, here it is, then 44 people can hit that thumbs up button on this video right now. Thank you so much. Everybody, please hit the thumbs up button, please. There's a lot of people in here and not a lot of thumbs up button being hit. So let's go ahead and hit that and get this party started. Because come on, 270 million people watching empty chairs. We can get that thumbs up going. So let's go.
I appreciate that. I'm not even paying this guy and he's plugging you. So I appreciate you so much. But guys, that does not end the hot topics. In fact, as I said, I'm going to throw in a curveball and we'll have some fun with this one, man. I'm curious to see what the chat is going to say about this. But I came across an amazing post over on Instagram and I wanted to have this discussion with you guys. I know that last week I was talking about, how people creating negative content and shitting on the hobby and all of that jazz. I was happy to have such a positive response, not just live on the live chat, but I was getting a lot of DMs, some comments on the videos. So shout out to everybody. I appreciate you all. Nothing but love. But I had people hit me up asking me if I was changing my format. No, nothing's changing, man. I was just curious to know what it is that why do we look that direction? And I totally understand. Well, when you drive by a car crash, a car wreckage, you can't help but look. I get it. Trust me, I get it. It's one of those sex sells type things. I get it. But I came across something pretty cool over on Instagram. And this is not a bad, we're going to shit on things topic, but it might go multiple directions. So we'll see how it goes. But I want to shout out Aaron, but Josh Comic Books, man. Josh's Comic Books, if you're not familiar, I think everybody's following him already. He's such a wonderful dude. And I love, engaging with him and having conversations with him. But he posted this, and I wanted to have this conversation with you guys. So shout out to him.
It's comic books, and here is today's question: was the COVID comic book boom good or bad for our hobby? Let me know what you think in the comments below. Like every collectible, comics went fucking crazy during COVID and lockdown. Was it good or was it bad? What are the long-term effects of the boom? Can't wait to read your comments. And as always, say no to FOMO, and thank you for following me.
So yeah, that's the question I want to ask you and the chat, man, is what do you guys think about it? The COVID times and all of that. Was it good for the hobby? Was it bad for the hobby? Lots of people hopped in, a lot of passerbys as well. A lot of money spent throughout the pandemic. People were, buying up a ton of things. And here we are now, years post pandemic, surprisingly. It's crazy to even think, right? Like it feels like it was just yesterday, but that's not the case. But what do you guys think? Do you think it was good for the hobby? Travis, what do you think?
I mean, I think the sales numbers speak, right? I mean, the sales have not dropped since. I mean, not measurably. I mean, I think when we look at the total sales numbers for 2023, and they were as high as they'd ever been, or something like that. So no, I don't. I mean, does it? Okay, here's what I will say. It sucked. It sucked being someone trying to buy on the aftermarket. That sucked. That was a pain in the ass. I just stopped. I just stopped buying on the aftermarket during COVID because I was like, nah, man, I'm out. I'm gonna wait this one out. This one's going down. And like, yeah, did it sort of wreck some of the pricing on the aftermarket? Yeah, I guess a little bit. But I always say this, and this is the most. I truly believe this when it comes to comics. If somebody actually wants to sell that book, whatever book you're looking at, if they actually want to sell that book, then they will sell it to you for a price that you're comfortable with. Yep. Otherwise, they don't really want to sell it, or they don't know enough about it, or they don't know enough about selling comic books.
Or maybe they're just dirty flippers, because that was a hashtag once upon a time.
Yeah, I mean, maybe, but you can try and get whatever you want out of a comic book, but at the end of the day, if it's too high, it's too high. It's not going to sell, and you're going to sit on it for a long time, and you're not going to get a return on your money if that's what you're doing.
Yes.
End of story. So no, I don't think it was bad. I don't think like anything that's bringing people into the hobby, it's not really bad for the hobby. Now, again, like I said, it wrecked the aftermarket a little bit, but Alex, it's just I think it got more people into the hobby. Sure. I mean, you can't, like, if 1 million people showed up during COVID and 20% of them were flippers who are no longer even messing with comics anymore. They were just trying to make a quick buck. Great. And, 40% of them were people who were trying to, kind of back and forth, not sure what they want to do. But that other 40% that's left, they're still into comics right now. I don't know how you can argue with just bringing in a couple more thousand people or even tens of thousands of people into the hobby.
Yeah, I think it was good for the hobby on that sake as well, man. When you look at that front, a lot of people that came into the hobby, those who stuck around, it's great, man. Throughout the pandemic, people were looking for things to do, and some people fell in love with the hobby for, let's say, the sake of maybe buying and flipping, or it was actually reading the books, whatever it was. But like yourself, I did the same thing. I took a back seat when I saw some books I've been trying to collect for the longest time reach new numbers, and I'm like, oops, I think I'm going to sit this one out. Let me, take a break from that, and let me start reading some more indie books. That's what I was doing throughout the pandemic, and, coming across titles that I completely slept on, and I was enjoying that aspect. Now, when we talk the pandemic and the hobby, yeah, man, the numbers did get wild. It did. And it's funny because a lot of this is going to tie to last week's topic as well. A lot of content creators, I want you to see the YouTube space as well. That's also exploded throughout the pandemic. I didn't do any YouTube content prior to the pandemic. I was looking for shit to do. I got asked by Hyper Combo Comics, hey, do you want to come hang out with the Comic Kingpins? Sure. I did that, went there. And then Newbie Comics hits me up. Hey, do you want to come hang out? Sure. Went to hang out. That's really how it happened. And many people made their way to YouTube, man. And I saw, you know, all of that really grow. I came into the game trying to, you know, I was talking with, I think I was on a show with Newbie and I was with Skeff's Comics, and people were like, wow, bro, you're on with Skeff's Comics. And you know, innocently, I was kind of like, who? I'm new to this, right? I didn't know what was going on, but the YouTube scene definitely took a jump, and some YouTubers happened to be new to the hobby. I myself have been collecting since I was a kid, but there's some that came into the hobby at the same time that they decided to go the YouTube route. And one thing I notice now is a lot of those people. Yeah, there you go. Guy Forge is in the house, yo. Pressable defects, bro. That's one of the first channels I came to learn about. Which shout out to you guys, man. You guys are complete legends. All three of you, love you all, and I miss you guys so much. But now talking the pandemic, the YouTubers and the comic collecting, etc. Now we fast forward to where we're at right now, right? A lot of people throughout the pandemic were specking on absolutely everything and anything. Like, dude, everything was going to be the biggest fucking hit, whether it was new books, because there was a pause of new books coming out, if you recall correctly. And then after we started to get books again after several months, but everybody was specking on absolutely anything and everything. And when it came to the YouTubers, as I was saying, a lot of there were a good portion of them who came in new to the hobby as well. And now we fast forward to where we're at in 2025. A lot of those YouTubers, you know, they openly say that like they came into the hobby while, you know, within the pandemic, and they started their YouTubes and they were doing whatever. Ironically, majority of those guys are the ones that are saying that the hobby is dead. And that's what I don't understand, because I've been collecting since I was a kid. To me, it all seems the same, bro. It seems the same. Like, if anything, we came into the pandemic, we went completely like this, and we're just leveling off. You know what I mean? Maybe I guess we could say the pandemic we hit turbulence. But otherwise, things seem to be okay. I'm you know, I'm gonna refer again to the Covrprice article where they said that 2024 had bigger numbers than the actual pandemic itself. So puts it into perspective. But ironically, there's that aspect too, where I saw nonsense today, looking at, you know, some creators saying that the hobby's dead and whatever. So the YouTube space completely blew up as well. And lo and behold, look, here we are. You're here. You know what I mean? Post pandemic, and I'm happy that you're here. But no, I don't think the hobby was bad. Sorry, that, you know, COVID was bad for the hobby. It was very interesting. It made things weird. Like, I was seeing books pop off for absolutely no reason. Speculation game, whether it was MCU based, DC based, whatever it was, it was very strange. I was seeing books hit levels, hearing about books I've never even heard of before. I learned about Kanto in the pandemic, and I loved it. I actually got to sit down with David Booher and have a conversation over on the Comic Kingpins channel. What an awesome dude. You know what I mean? Like,
Yep.
I think when you look at the pandemic, dude, there was a lot of positivity, more than there was negativity that came out of that. Again, when it comes to the sales, I totally get it. There were books that exploded to levels that were just out of this world, right? And for those that held, I think it held with reason. Those that came back down, like you and I, who backed up into the bush like Homer Simpson, because I saw somebody mention that in the chat, waited for all of the stuff to take place, and now that it's back down, we're buying again. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I don't think it was bad.
No, it wasn't. And I'll just say this. If you came in during COVID, and you're looking at the way the aftermarket is starting to, it's still elevated, but you're looking at the way the aftermarket is starting to even out a little bit finally. You, if you came in then yeah, I guess you could say it's dead. But for anybody that's been collecting pre-COVID, we're like, well, back to, it's getting back to normal. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not even totally back to normal, because I think that maybe, just maybe, because of all of the extra influx of eyes on the hobby and on the industry itself, you know, usually really good things can follow an influx of more people getting involved, and it's leading right into what I'm getting ready to say, Chia. We are now at a point to where we're kind of that crazy pandemic surge, and we're starting to get this heavy investment on really high end storytelling. I mean, I know, obviously, like I'm not trying to always take it back to DC here, but absolute DC is putting their cash into those creative teams. I mean, all of those creative teams are rock star creative teams to get those books out there. We are very, very, very spoiled right now, and so you have to attribute at least some of that to some more of this influx of new blood into the hobby. Now, whether they were those flippers, they may not still be here, but I guarantee you that a percentage of those people that came in during COVID, during the pandemic, looking for something, some kind of, maybe even, something to take their mind off of everything else that's going on, they stayed. And we have more comic fans now than we did. But yes, if you came in during the pandemic and that's all you know, then yeah, I mean, you might think it's dead because it's just not as crazy on the aftermarket as it used to be. But those new issue sales are doing great. We're selling new issues. It's all good. So I think it was good. I think it's led to where we are today, and I think the overall quality of what we're getting right now is great. The aftermarket's still a little fluky, but what the quality of what we have today is great, and it probably has some part of to do with what happened during the pandemic.
Yeah, I agree with you, man. And seeing some of the chats, Leftero was bringing up the same point we pretty much did. Was to him, he stopped buying bigger books completely, and so did I. You know what I mean? Like I was always wheeling and dealing, trying to find deals on those bigger books, but it was almost impossible throughout the pandemic. And I think that's where we saw craziness. There was an influx on most of the bigger books. Spec books were popping. Like, dude, I remember even Stray Dogs was popping at one point. Like, it was literally just anything and everything at that point. The YouTube scene, I knew I came into it. I didn't know anybody. Then I came to learn about Lords of the Long Box. One of the first channels I learned of was Pressable Defects, with obviously newbie because of Hyper Combo Comics. And then I was learning about Spine Ticks. I was learning about all these people. I had no idea who Reggie Collects was, and then I figured out, and Comics with Bueller, started connecting with all these people. The YouTube scene, had their people already that were here prior to the pandemic, but in the pandemic, almost everybody started to jump to YouTube, including myself. I'm part of that wave of people who joined throughout the pandemic. We were looking for shit to do, and this was my way to disconnect, talk with people like yourself, the chat that I love. Now, when it comes to the books, like I said, I don't think it was anywhere close to bad. It was a very strange time when it came to books and their price points, but I think we've come to a fair point now where the hobby is still doing very well. It's thriving. Sales are doing good. Aftermarket, new comics. We just watched Batman 158 hits 400,000 plus copies. People are still excited about content.
We're fine. We're fine.
Exactly, man. So I want to shout out Josh's comic books for that question because it was cool, man. I thought it was a good discussion. Happy we had it. Travis, I'm happy I had you on tonight. Guys, that's the show. So I appreciate you all swinging by. If you're still sticking around, hit the like button. If you're catching the replay, hit the like button. Comment below. Subscribe. But Travis, before we go, we mentioned you have an episode dropping somewhere. Tell the people what channel. Tell the people when it's dropping. Let us know.
All right. You can find me at Trek Wars Comics on Instagram, and you can find my my YouTube channel is also Trek Wars Comics. We drop a new episode every week talking about basically only the Absolute Universe. So we're just talking about all the new releases, any news that's coming up with the Absolute Universe in DC. It's a lot of fun. Me and my buddy, we've been friends for a long time, so it's usually some trash talk involved there as well. So it's always a good time. But yeah, come hang out, and yeah, we appreciate anybody that's listening. You find us on Spotify too.
There you go. Yeah, me too. I forgot to plug that. I am also on Spotify. So if you guys are bored and you want to hear my voice and Travis this week, check it out on Spotify. But I do want to give you guys a heads up. This is now the end of March. We're diving into April as of this week. That being said, it's the month of April. We're going to do a new giveaway. So keep an eye out for that. Tell your friends. The only way to win is you got to be subscribed. That's all. I just want to make sure you're a regular here. You actually care about the content and want to hang out. So, April, new giveaway. I'm not going to tell you guys what it is yet because we're still going to package that together and let you guys know. But yes, hit subscribe, show some love, comment below. This Tuesday, don't forget to check out Covrprice, the top 10. I'll be there with Laura, with Marty, bringing you guys the top 10 books that sold. And then on Thursday, hopefully, going to come across one of Travis's articles regarding one of the books that shook on the aftermarket as we bring you guys the Shakers list. So have yourselves a great week, and I will see you hopefully on Tuesday, Thursday. If not, I'll catch you here next Sunday as well. Adios!
Bye!